Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today's video is something mean. As I'm sure you saw from the thumbnail, today we're doing something taboo. Something forbidden. Something, dare I say, sinful. No, we're not trying to sneak Armageddon or Blood Moon into a Bracket 3 deck. The goal of this deck is to cast and then copy a bunch of land destruction cards. Why? Because it's funny, that's why. Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. Our commander is Riku of the Two Reflections, a 5-mana 2/2 legendary human wizard with 2 abilities. They are both activated abilities, but can only be activated under certain circumstances. The first one says that whenever we cast an instant or sorcery spell, we may pay a red and a blue. If we copy that spell, we may choose new targets for the copy. The second ability triggers whenever a creature enters the battlefield under our control. When it does, we may pay a blue and a green. If we do, we create a token copy of that creature. So Riku lets us copy spells or creatures, which is great because our deck is full of spells and creatures that we want to copy, especially spells and creatures that destroy lands. Now remember, Riku's ability to copy a creature triggers when they enter the battlefield, so maybe adding a few flicker effects would be a good idea. But before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, T-Fury. Every day, T-Fury has new designs that are on sale, but as you can see, they also have a great collection of other shirts. Anime, D&D, 80s retro, comic books, Lord of the Rings. There are thousands of shirts to choose from. I've been a loyal customer of theirs for 10 years, and I'm so happy to finally be sponsored by them. Click the link down below to see new designs and to add to your geek wardrobe. In order to build a functional commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Oh, one more quick announcement before we get started. The plan is that I'll be streaming here in the next couple of weeks. My schedule lately has been hectic, so I haven't had the time. Now, we're going to change how we do things. If I'm streaming Final Fantasy XIV or some other video game, it will be dualcast on Twitch and Musings by Danon, my anime and manga channel. If I'm building commander decks or something magic related, I'll be streaming over here as well as Twitch. I've roughed out a schedule, but I need to confirm a few things with Cute Stuff, so keep an eye out for now. Our land base consists of Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Misty Rainforest, Scalding Tarn, Wooded Foothills, Windswept Heath, Polluted Delta, Bloodstained Mire, Ketria Triome, Breeding Pool, Steam Vents, Stomping Ground, Hedge Maze, Thundering Falls, Commercial District, Rejuvenating Springs, Training Center, Spire Garden, Scavenger Grounds, 10 Forests, 4 Islands, and 5 Mountains. Not too shabby. Yes, that's a lot of basics. Yes, we have a reason for it. You'll see. For our mana base, we've got Nyxbloom Ancient, Soul Ring, Goblin Anarchomancer, Goblin Electromancer, 3 Visits, Rampant Growth, Farseek, Nature's Lore, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, Migration Path, Seedborn Muse, Exploration, and Burgeoning. Lots of ways to ensure we stay ahead of the curve. Our card advantage package consists of Jeska's Will, Consecrated Sphinx, Eternal Witness, Archdruid's Charm, Solve the Equation, Windfall, Big Score, Frantic Search, Stroke of Genius, and Pull from Tomorrow. Lots of ways to dig through our deck and find the answers we need. For interaction and spot removal, we've got Reclamation Sage, Terastodon, Beast Within, Decimate, Broken Bond, Negate, Counterspell, Abrade, Naturalize, Insult Injury, and Lightning Bolt. Lots of ways to remove annoying permanents. Our board wipes consist of Aetherize, Delayed Blast Fireball, and Washout. Powerful and one-sided. Just what we're looking for. The core of our deck consists of Stone Rain, Pillage, Plow Under, Molten Rain, Fallow Earth, Avalanche Riders, Acidic Slime, Magmatic Hellkite, Roiling Terrain, Obsidian Charmaw, Volcanic Offering, Monvuli Acid Moss, Frenzied Tilling, Demolish, and Volcanic Upheaval. Lots of ways to make our opponents absolutely miserable. Supporting our plan, we've also got Thousand Year Storm, Arcane Bombardment, Swarm Intelligence, Twinning Staff, Conjurer's Closet, Displacer Kitten, Terror of the Peaks, and Rite of Replication. Can you imagine copying a kicked Rite of Replication on an acidic slime? Delightful. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 52 mana sources split between 38 lands and 14 pieces of ramp. Not too shabby, especially since most of our ramp can be copied by our commander. 10 pieces of card advantage, 11 pieces of interaction, 3 board wipes, 1 piece of graveyard hate in Scavenger Grounds, 2 Sudden Eye win cards in Thousand Year Storm and Terror of the Peaks. Okay, so the idea of our deck is to destroy all the lands. We want to slow the game down by casting and copying enough land destruction to make everyone weep sad little tears. But we then have to win the game after that. The 2 primary ways this deck does that is the combination of Rite of Replication with Terror of the Peaks, or a Thousand Year Storm combo. Let me explain. If we cast a kicked Rite of Replication targeting Terror of the Peaks, we deal 125 damage in 5 damage increments to any target we want. The favored target here would be our opponent's tear-streaked faces. Normally they'd be smug, but they're sad this time with all their lands in their respective graveyards. Okay, let me explain the math. Terror of the Peaks deals damage whenever another creature enters the battlefield under our control to any target. The amount of damage is equivalent to the power of that creature. So, since we kicked Rite of Replication, there are 5 creatures entering, each with 5 power, so that's 25 damage. Now, each of those 5 copies will see the other 4 entering, so 5 times 4 times 5 is 100. Total, 125. Now, the other combo should be familiar to longtime viewers, but we'll explain it to the new guys as well. Thousand Year Storm copies each instant and sorcery spell we cast for each instant and sorcery spell we've cast this turn. So if we cast 1 instant, there's no copies. But the second spell is copied once, and the third is copied twice, and so on. So what we need to do is cast an instant or sorcery, doesn't matter what. Then we cast Solve the Equation. This will give us 2 total copies, the original and the second one made by Thousand Year Storm. We find Lightning Bolt and Insult Injury. We then cast a third spell. Again, doesn't really matter what it is, just upping our storm count here. We then cast Insult Injury as the 4th spell for our turn. That means that all damage dealt by us cannot be prevented and is also doubled 4 times. That's not 2 times 4, that's 2 to the 4th. That's times 16, which means that our Lightning Bolt will deal 48 damage. Oh, and we'll have 5 of them on the stack because it's the 5th spell we've cast this turn. How delightful. But the main point of our deck is to use cards like Thousand Year Storm and our commander to copy our land destruction spells. Imagine every turn flickering Obsidian Charmaw and, as it enters the battlefield, we make a copy of it. Again and again and again. Now, we're not mass land destruction, but we can blow up several lands every turn and drink up those sweet, sweet tears. Do you have a mean and vicious deck like this? What about a deck led by Riku of 2 Reflections? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. You can have a video made or just ask for help building or tuning a deck list. I also want to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Alex, Robert, Pi, Cazares, Patrick, Boomy, Oscar, Justin, Golden Walker, Sleech, Mr. Salty, Daniel Zombie, Luke, Brian, Richard, Jeff, and Anenra. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.